I kinda adore you, but don't get too proud. You're like my favorite snack, I won't say it out loud. I won't say you're perfect, we all know you're not. But hey, you're the best kind of way that I got.
Here we go. Hello horse friends, and welcome back to the Imperfect Equestrian. Welcome to another hack and chat. So I did promise you a rather exciting video this week, but unfortunately what's happened is it's taken me a lot longer to edit than I thought. And also good girl JJ, walk on, good girl. And also I was supposed to be going to that rather exciting thing, but I didn't end up actually being able to go myself in the end. Good girl, car, come in, walk on. We'll just try and get out of the way of this car. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. They've pulled over for us, but I think we'll go into this lane because we'll be a bit slower than they are. Good girl. There's a good girl, JJ. Very kind of them. Thank you. Good girl. Okay, walk on. Good girl, walk on. That's a good girl. So, as I was saying, I did not get to go to the very exciting event with JJ, but I did go because I had friends there and I went to support my friends, and also I was allowed to document how much fun they had there. So I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, you'll have to wait and see, but I can tell you why I couldn't go. Lots of sounds tonight, JJ, hey? Good girl, walk on. Good girl. Oh, relaxing. That's good. Good girl. So basically we'd had a bit of a brake issue with the car. We needed some brake pads changing because it was squealing because it was right down. So we thought we could do that ourselves because we saw several things that said it was easy to do. So we ordered some brake pads, and they, first of all, they weren't the right ones. And then, oh, here comes a car. Let's pull in a bit out of the way. She'll have some grass whilst we wait, I'm sure. Good girl too. So we ordered some brake pads and they weren't the right ones. So then we had to take a journey out to go get the right ones. Then when we got the right ones, we took the car wheel off, took out the brake pads, put them in. That's great. But we didn't realise that if you have an electric handbrake, that's a big problem. And it's a rear wheel. You need a special key, special tool to put it back together, and also you need a computer to turn off the handbrake whilst you work on it. Thank you. So we'd been turning off the handbrake manually, but because it was electric, walk on, good girl, it kept coming back on. Good girl, we're still going that way. So we had to get out a mechanic to come and help us in the end, a mobile one, because obviously the wheel was completely off and everything was apart on the car, and he came out and rescued us. And this was all the day before we were meant to go to this special event. Anyway, we'd unfortunately kind of let a lot of the brake fluid leak out, and it was all on the floor in the barn. But that meant that the brake fluid had to be topped back up again and had to let air out the system. Now it seemed all right that night, and the next day we were due to go to the event, but in the morning when I went to hook up the trailer, it was quite obvious, good girl, walk on, that the brakes weren't very good on the car. We'd obviously got an airlock in there, you know, our own fault, and it was tried to be fixed the day before but hadn't quite managed to be fixed, and it was all too late to do anything about it. I did have a very kind friend offer to lend us their car to tow her, but it was literally only about kind of an hour before the event, and we needed to be leaving then, so we didn't have time to go fetch their car and go. So I did go along in the van without her, just to watch, and still had fun. Nice to see everybody, and it was good to watch. Yes, JJ, lots going on, crows and all sorts tonight. You can tell it's been a little bit of a while since we've been out hacking. It's been a few weeks. She's going forward nicely, but she is very cautious about every little sound and every little bird that's flying. Go on, walk on, walk on. Good girl, good girl. So because of that, you've got me talking to you today, because the editing on it, as it wasn't really focused on me, I was focusing on everyone else there. So it's lots of different camera angles, lots of different positions that I'm having to put together. It's taking me a little bit longer. There we are. So I do apologise, and I hope that you are enjoying our ride. She seems very alert tonight, but luckily she's not spooky as such yet. We have been doing a lot of groundwork at the moment, enjoying the sunny evenings. I've been trying our 4-quarter yields on the floor. We've been working on our sidewards over poles a bit, working on our Liberty circles. Trailer loading's going really, really well at the moment. She's quite happy to go in at Liberty, enjoying that, and she enjoys her time in there at the moment as well, because we're having lots of scratches, putting some treats in there as well for her after she's got in. See the crow again? And she's like, oh, it's a crow again. It's like the third crow we've seen, JJ. Actually, all the crows seem to have pretty much disappeared a bit at the moment, because they seem to be having their babies in their nests, the chicks. So the ones we feed have certainly disappeared off at the moment. So maybe she's been a bit more like, oh, look at the crow, because there aren't many. I'm still a little bit deaf in one ear. You remember the week I had a poorly ear. Ooh, got an itch, she says. Itch on my leg. Good girl. Walk on. It's okay, darling. So struggling to pinpoint sounds. So when we keep hearing cars and things, I'm almost as bad as her for stopping and looking where they come from, because I can't quite tell. Quite surprised actually that there's not any cows in these fields here, because this is a cow farm on my left, and a lot of the cows are out at the moment around places. Good girl. We're not going on a very long hack tonight, just a bit of a mosey down the lane. It's lovely at the moment. Everything in spring is really green, so it's looking a lot nicer. Although I suppose with the hedges being full, it is a little bit harder to see like cars coming and things like that. What can you smell? It actually feels a little bit like it might be going to rain this evening. We're on what's been the hottest day at the moment. It did say on the weather this morning it may reach 30 degrees. I don't know if it actually did reach 30 degrees. It did get very hot. I work in a dog grooming van, so luckily I managed to get through my doggies today quite quickly, and although we did start hitting some of the heat at the end a little bit, it wasn't too bad. Looks like the cakes are full today. Lots of nice cakes and eggs in there at the cake stand. Good girl. Hey. Yeah, definitely a wind blowing in that's saying it might rain. Walk on, walk on. There's a possibility I might be taking, oh, I think I can hear a car coming. Oops, let's just go back to the entrance. Yeah, there's a car. There we go, in, out of the way. Good girl. Thank you. Yeah. Turn. 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 Good girl. Walk on. Walk on. There we go. Oh, another car. Gosh, it is busy this evening. Hey, I'm sure she'll enjoy this grass whilst we wait for that car. So as I was saying, there's a possibility that I may be taking JJ to a natural horsemanship competition at the end of the year. I've not quite fully decided yet. Thank you. But we do need to put in a lot of extra work if that's going to happen. So we have already started on that, but a lot of that's gonna walk on, JJ, walk on, good girl. A lot of that's gonna depend on the weather, because we obviously have to practice outside in the field, and at the minute we've had some lovely unusual weather for this year, being nice and dry and sunny. But obviously if we go through some rainy spells, which can be typical after a sunny spell at the start of the year, then that may mean that we don't have so many places to practice or so much time. Daylight is in our favour at the moment, so we intend on taking full advantage of that. Come on, JJ, we're only going up to the house and back. Good girl. Good girl. What have you seen? Hey? Nothing. Good girl. I'm sure she does see stuff. Oh, good girl. She's far more perceptive than I am. She can hear things that I can't. She has far better instincts. I'm glad we weren't riding earlier in the heat. It definitely would have been too hot, even with us just walking around. There we are. Good girl. So more and more people, if you are lucky enough to be in the situation, are having the advantage of being able to leave their horses out all the time at the minute because of the nice weather. I mean, we're lucky. We have ours out all the time anyway. Walk on. Good girl. Good girl. So they're just enjoying the weather more, and we're just trying to keep an eye, because we have the track, but we rotate a little bit with the paddocks. And obviously I'm trying to balance having some grass in them without them getting too much grass as well. They're still quite interested in their hay a little bit at the minute. They don't spend a lot of time in there, but they do spend some time in there eating hay, and they seem to shelter in the barn quite a lot in the day. Yes, they're new, aren't they? Yes. Some log cabins that JJ's not seen before in a field next to us. Good girl. I'm a little bit surprised she's not trying to snatch more grass at the minute with it being so long and lush, but I suppose because there is some at home grass, she's not so hungry at the moment. Good girl. We're going to turn around at the house ahead anyway, so she'll probably be a bit more forward going because we'll be heading home then. Walk on, as they are. Ooh, we can hear a cow. I'm hoping that somewhere in the next month or two, some of my friends are planning possibly us all having a ride together. So that's a possibility that you might join us for that, if that happens at some point soon in the future. Thinking maybe June into July maybe. But we're just talking through the plannings at the moment. Barley Saturday, you know, the stallion show was on the other day. Did not unfortunately get to go because I was busy on that day. But yeah, I've seen a lot of the pictures going around on the internet, and it does look like a good time. Lots of stallions there this year, and there was no problems, I hear, so very good. And hopefully with its better publicity this year that way, it'll get to go on again next year, because I know when there's problems there's sometimes talk of it not going ahead. Good girl. Right, we're going to turn around here, but we're going to walk on a bit first so we can turn around properly. Good girl. There we are. There we go. So here we are, a bit more forward going home. The sun is still up, but it's behind the clouds a bit at the minute. It's starting to head down a bit lower, but it's okay because there's still plenty of daylight in the evenings at the moment. It's not too late. I don't know, I think it's maybe 7:30, 8 o'clock, something, probably more like 8 o'clock at the minute, I would have thought. So nice cool breeze going on after a hot day. Let's try for a little trot. Are you ready, JJ? Good girl. There we go. It's a nice trot there. Nice and steady, actually, really nice. She's not pulling forward too much just because we're heading home. Good girl. I can hear the wind whistling past my ears. Oh, there you go. Well, it's only a short trot, but we haven't had much exercise the past few weeks, so I suppose that's okay for now. And there's a car coming, so we're just going to get out of the way again. Let her have a bit of grass. Wait for the car to go past. Thank you. Most people are being quite polite passing us today and friendly. Getting a few waves, obviously people recognising us now we come up and down here so much. But there was one van that decided they wanted to go past us a bit quicker. Luckily she's very good, so that was okay. We were walking towards the pull-in, the lay-by, but they didn't want to wait for us to get there, so never mind, not everybody knows, and thankfully she is a good horse. She didn't mind that crow then. See, now we're going back to Horsehome. There was a crow flew past a minute ago and she's like, what crow? Good girl. Okay, I'll wait till we get to the cakes, and then I think we'll have another trot. I hope you're all having a lot of enjoyment with the weather at home. Obviously, if you are in the southern hemisphere, you will be heading into winter, whereas we are heading into summer at the moment. So sorry about that for you guys, although maybe it's a bit of relief. I don't know, you might be having a good autumn. Our spring has been exceptionally good here at the moment. We have had a lot of dry weather and a lot of sunshine, more than usual. We did have quite a lot of rain in April, but it was all bunched together and the ground did really need it. Right, I've forgotten that we were going to trot, so we'll have another trot. Ready? Good girl, JJ, and good girl. Good girl. Ooh. There we go. We're looking a bit smartly at something then, I don't know what it was. Good girl. A little bit faster trot this time. That's okay. Good girl. Nice. And she's slowing down a bit, so we'll take that. Yes, what a lovely evening to have a ride. It's really nice seeing all the leaves out in the trees for a change. I'm pretty sure that last time you rode out with me we were still very, very bare on all the trees and bushes. And of course you've got all the nice, I don't know what that's called, is it gorse? Got nice yellow flowers on the gorse. And although there isn't any around here, some places have got the bluebells out at the minute, so it's in bits of blue, white and yellow in all the hedgerows. And I did see some small purple flowers today as well. I have no idea what they are. I always want to say forget-me-nots, but I don't think we have those here. It's not the primroses. I know what primroses look like. They're like much smaller than that. So if anyone knows what kind of really tiny purple country flowers, not campions, not red campion, I know that what that looks like as well, but there's like patches of tiny purple flowers. So if you know, if you're good with your flowers and think you might know what that is, comment below and let me know and I'll go look it up. We made some dandelion honey the other day. If you've not heard of that before, it's I'm not vegan, but it is a vegan honey. So in other words, you're not taking honey from the bees directly, you're making your own. So the way we do that is we pick the flowers, we take the petals out, and it's the petals that are the important part, and it actually tastes really a lot like honey, and that's because the bees are using the dandelions to make honey. So we use the petals and we put some water in, about a cup of petals, a cup of water, something like that. I usually double it to 2 cups, and we make like a tea. So we kind of boil it for a second and then we let it go cool and leave it overnight in the fridge. And then once that's happened, the next day we kind of sieve off all the big parts, so we've got just the liquid. So it is exactly like a tea. Then put it back in a saucepan. We add another cup of sugar at this time, and it can be soft brown sugar or white sugar. I usually use soft brown sugar, And I forgot, you have to put a lemon in the first section when you make the tea, just like a slice of lemon as well. I'm not sure if that actually helps it congeal or if it's just for flavour. I always find it a little bit too lemony, but you know, that's in the recipe, it might be important to help it congeal, I'm not sure. So when you've got your sugar in, you boil it up, and as soon as it kind of reaches boil, you bring it back to a simmer. And it says in a recipe about an hour, but I usually find it's about 45-50 minutes in simmer. And I take out little bits on a spoon, put it in a cup and pop it in the freezer to cool it quickly, just to see the consistency, because you want it honey consistency, and then it can go into a jar. So I made some for my mum and dad this year, and we kept some for ourselves. Not as much as I made last year, and I have to say I let it go on a little bit too long this time. I had it on for about 50 minutes, and I think I probably should have just taken it off at 45, so it was a little bit thicker than it was the previous year, but that's okay, still tastes good, still spreads and pours and all that kind of thing. So very nice, yeah, worth trying. Look at the recipe if you want to have a go. There's quite a selection of things you can do with dandelions. Somebody sent me that you can make a honeycomb with dandelions as well, so that's interesting. And people have tea. We're gonna have a trot. She wants a trot. Good girl. It's unusual for her to ask for a trot, so there we are. So there's lots of foraging things around at the minute anyway. I've seen the wild garlic out and around. If you like your nettles for tea and stuff, they're coming up. I believe you can use dock leaves the same as spinach. So yeah, so get out and get foraging whilst you can. Ooh, obviously she's got a little bit of adrenaline from somewhere, so she wants to move forward. This is not just about going home. I'm not sure what it's about. She's still listening, so we should be able to stop okay at the junction. Starting to slow a little bit. Good girl. Good girl. And she chose to stop then, so that's great. Obviously I wouldn't want her uncontrollably trotting up to the junction. So we're nearly back, so I'll say goodbye. Hope you've had a nice little ride out with us. Do look forward to the video next week. We'll see you next time. Bye. Oh. Good girl, walk on.